It's another impromptu live. Is anyone even out there tonight? Maybe not. It's awful late. 3:42 in the morning here. Jesse, how you doing? Is my audio all right? Let me know in chat. I killed my Texas trip this weekend because the weather wasn't cooperating. I was going to go over south of Amarillo and hit some property, and it was going to be. I thought it was going to be quite fine. Hey Ian Phillips, how you doing? Been enjoying those Red Fox videos from over there. I appreciate what you do for animals. It's 3:42 in the morning here, so you're a few hours ahead of us. And Lord knows I'm not on a regular sleep schedule these days. Give me one second. You looking forward to OHS today, Jesse? I've seen De Lagon speak before on the alligator snapping turtle, and it's gonna be a good time. I'll say that. I really wish. I just got back from the bars. No, I'm not going. I didn't get registered, and I just don't see making it this year. I haven't slept since like early this morning, so probably when I crash, I'm probably going down. We'll be down for a while. So, but De Lagon, he spoke at the Tulsa Herp Club about 10 years ago. Really killer presentation. And I want to say he did another one time on his trip to Africa. It was totally cool. So you should enjoy it, man. They should have drinks at OHS, right? You should. I'm thinking they do, or I'm thinking they're supposed to. I want to say Tyler, Jake. Hell, someone told me something about it, man. Man, dude, I'm not even tired, Jess. That's why I figured I'd hop on and do a live. You will be excited to hear the alligator snapping turtle talk. That guy drops some wicked information. If you see Kevin Babbitt while you're there, like tell him to like check his messenger once a year or something. You know, I need him to hit me up, and I may just end up running over to his house. Of course, he'll be there tomorrow. I won't be up before probably 1 o'clock Central Standard Time here. 1 o'clock p.m. because it's 4 in the morning here, and I'm still rocking and rolling. I'm working on a huge data archive. Any of you guys follow me on Instagram, you see like 500 pictures pop up. Sorry. But my phone is like out of storage. My cloud's out of storage. Yeah, dude, I've been herping with Kevin for like 13, 14 years. I mean, I met the kid when he was 12, and it's just like he hates Messenger. But man, tell him if you see him, tell him to hit me up if it's not a problem, and it's no worries if you don't. But the OHS thing is live and in full effect tomorrow. I want to say registration's closed. I don't think you can get in, unless you already have a ticket. I really wish that you guys would like get those on video, like live stream them or something. Who knows? Maybe if I'm there next year, I can help you guys with that, because It's really not hard to do. That auditorium they're in, they have I want to say pretty decent Wi-Fi. And even then, like I said, if I'm there next year, yeah, I'll always throw a camera on a tripod. I think some of those lectures are like too good. They're going to be too good to not be recorded. I'll say that. Really, whoever brought in the speakers this year did a good job. De Lagon is no stranger to Tulsa. I want to say he's out of Missouri, Springfield, Missouri area. But man, his stuff on the alligator snapping turtle is just, it's phenomenal. And you should have a good time. Is Chad Whitney going to be there, man? I kind of haven't been able to get a hold of Chad recently. I would assume he's going to be there. Who did you bring in? I just saw the list of speakers earlier, like it popped up or something. I was wondering. I thought you had a connection to one of them. Okay. He may be up in central Kansas, like pre-flipping rocks, even though it's still too cold. Well, I think it's too cold. I don't know, man. You guys, you and was it Aaron, and maybe I don't know the other guy's name, but I know you and Aaron like have found milks in temperatures I never would have thought to be even looking for them in. So who knows? He may be hitting central Kansas if it's sunny up there. I brought Neil. Okay, Neil. Okay, cool. Well, man, that's going to be awesome. And I don't know if there's like any legalities or whatnot, but I did see where like a lot of people were asking about like audio video capabilities, even wanting to pay the conference cost just to be able to watch it online. I think that's something that you guys should explore in the future, but I don't know. Who knows? Who knows where the future's going to take us? Yeah, I've been backing up a lot of video and a lot of some audio, a lot of video, and a lot of pictures. It's like my Instagram has just been getting like 50 uploads at a time, and I don't have names on anything. I'll have to go back. And yeah, exactly. Hey, Anthony. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking it was you and Aaron and Killian. You guys are finding milk snakes in the 30s. And a lot of people think, oh man, it's got to be sunny and 60. No, it doesn't. And you guys kind of were legendary in that. I mean, my hat's off to y'all. You guys definitely changed my perception. And if it gets real sunny, like on Monday or even maybe Tuesday, I may go flip some rocks down south of Tulsa just to see if there's anything out yet, because I've already seen some amphibians. I've already seen some bugs. I'll give you that, Jesse, and I would even go so far as to say supremely different. Because man, that was phenomenal stuff when I first saw it. I was just like, whoa, blew my mind. Never thought about it. Of course, lamps are these like, a lot of people think I don't like Lampropeltis. Nothing could be further from the truth. I actually grew up finding like a lot of speckled kings and a lot of prairie kings. And the milk snake was the thing that, like, if I found it, it was road pizza. It's just can never find them. But then again, I'm sitting there looking at the science that people like you, Aaron, Killian, people like that brought into the game. And pretty phenomenal stuff, man. Like, I hope you guys get your names in some papers or some record books or whatever. Anthony Medina, if you don't mind, I'm going to add you as a moderator. Ian Phillips, same for you. No offense, Jesse. I I just I want a couple of moderators in. Without a big crowd, you generally will not have a problem with bots. Normally, you got to get 10, 15 people watching before the Russian bots start showing up, and then God knows what's going on with that. Name it. No, I don't think. Right. Um, and could be. But at the same time, though, you guys put that out there. You guys went down to you guys went to where you went. I'm going to say that because, man, lamp locations are top secret stuff. I got your back. But like literally, it was like cloudy and like 37, and you guys were flipping milks, and there was, like you said, snow on the ground. And I'm sitting there going, you know, I may actually, I got in a new macro lens the other day, and I may just go see if I can find some inverts because those have already been popping around, like around my house where I find them. We've been seeing we've had a couple butterflies, crickets, centipede or two, and I wouldn't mind at least if anything, seeing some plants and getting some decent photos of them. Oh, that spot in the southeast is no longer secret. Oh, was not me. But I was there when that one Becky milk snake spot, you know what I'm talking about, got listed on INAT. That was back when I was hanging with everybody, and oh God, just I remember the debacle. And and I kind of sided with old Hutch on that one, man. He gave that spot in confidence. He wanted it to stay there. But I tell you, man, you guys' spot in the southeast, I had nothing to do with. And I probably was right there. Yeah, rest in peace, Becky, man. The milk snake that will never die. She'll be with us forever. Okay, map turtles. My wife's father-in-law. He's now deceased. He had a boat dock on Lake Keystone, and I could walk down to it, and they would have a lot of map turtles on that side of Lake Keystone just come up on the dock, and come up on the poles and stuff. Like if it's a sunny day, they'd be out there. And so I might get over there and see if I can walk down there because I know the people that bought the place. Man, I'm dying to get out of the house. No lie. I'm just straight dying to get out of the house. Hey, I went down there like later, and Becky was like already smashed, and I was just like, ugh, God. I didn't see her, but then again, though, I wouldn't mind kind of going in that area just to see what's up. I've got to get my hunting license on Monday and go from there because you know me, I'm all about the crotalus, and I know a lot of people don't like them or just don't prefer them, and I get the whole preference thing. After years of herping, it's like I took one of my friends from Pennsylvania out, and she wanted to like photograph this like plain-bellied water snake for like 30 minutes, and I've got to realize that was something new to her. So, and she didn't see those up where she was. All they had were the northerns. And sounds like herping in Scotland. We've got vipers in the snow. Dude, next weekend. Okay, Strecker's Course Frogs. Where you guys go? Well, message me on Instagram or something. Give me a little more information if you get a sec, or I'll try and hit you up this week. But I need a Strecker's Course. I've heard them. I've never seen them. I've seen everybody else find them, and I've heard them. I've definitely heard the calls. But that's one that I've got to see and photograph. I'd like to get like maybe even like a 10-20 second video of. Probably have. I kind of do and I don't. And it's kind of like I've got to realize that like when something's new to someone and you're showing them around, it's kind of like hospitality. You know, you should really take in the extra patience. But yeah, but it's just like you know, plain-bellied water snakes. I mean, they're beautiful. They have their place, but there's also 10 of them everywhere you go in this state. I told this person the other day I think plain-bellied water snakes are more frequently encountered than western rat snakes. Now keep in mind I'm from Broken Arrow. There's a lot of watery habitat over there. There's like Lake Big Sur and the Arkansas River to the south. Then you get up on the other side and there's like a lot of ponds, farm ponds and things, marsh type environments. Um, but yeah, no, when someone wants to photograph every single thing, um, you know, I'm with you. You know, it's just every time I go to someone's house to get a copperhead, it turns out to be a plain-bellied water snake. It's just hilarious. Now, Ian, what kind of vipers in the snow do you find the? I want to say they're the. Um, if you said its name, I'd recognize it. I've seen them in zoos. They're the European Vipera barus. Gosh, don't know my international snakes. Amidites, I would assume. Yeah, that sounds right, Jess. Um, that there's I want to say there's at least two or three species of European viper that are like in the Swiss Alps area and over in Scotland and um, okay, gotcha, Ian. Jesse, you should check out Ian's channel sometime. He makes some good field herping videos. Ariel, how you doing? Glad you're here. Just was up and decided to do a live. Didn't know if anyone would show up and figured if the bots attacked, I'd just kill the live or I'd handle it myself. Really appreciate you being here, Miss Ariel. But enough with the herping small talk for now. I did have a purpose for this video. I follow a YouTuber who is... I haven't seen any of his videos in like 6 months just because like I've been busy with other things. But he's a certified YouTube coach. Interesting fellow named Roberto Blake. And he does a lot of graphic design, does a lot of stuff with Photoshop. He really has some things. That's what I was thinking, Ian. Barris is the only viper in the United Kingdom. Hey, Jesse, man, you be safe tomorrow and have fun, because you're going to. I know. Trust me. Tomorrow's going to be good, Jesse. You have a good one. I'll try and hit you up this week. But anyway, back to Roberto Blake. Can't remember if I found Roberto through Sean Howell, the game lady that pops on once in a while, or if I found him just on my own. I used to watch him and Brian G. Johnson because they both had a lot of like I don't want to say solid advice, but like advice that like a newer person to YouTube would understand. And not that I'm consider myself newer, but when I started doing this channel, you know, I kind of wanted a strategy. I'd done like 4 or 5 other channels before and didn't have a strategy. Just shoot 10 videos, do no editing, just upload those videos. And looking back, I kind of look at how if I would have staggered them more and like, you know, set like release dates, and things, I might have like gained a little more traction with some of those earlier channels. Yeah, that's right. You only have a handful of species in the UK, Ian. That's Definitely a bummer, mate. Man, I honestly, you know, you've got to take advantage of the other nature when stuff gets like that, because I mean that's what I do. I was stuck at home last summer because we were building this house, and so that's where I got into videotaping bugs and insects and spiders. Just because like I wanted to shoot video, and so shoot what's there, shoot what's available. If if you can't get out and go find snakes, go find what's available. And then we had a few snakes pop up. But anyway, back to Roberto Blake. The guy had a philosophy regarding YouTube. And a lot of times people hit me up for advice. I don't know why. I do have one monetized channel. Roundup Rodeo is monetized. That was kind of a freak incident, though. I actually put a ton of work into monetizing this channel, and it never happened. Or hasn't happened yet. It still could. And I think it could this year, actually. But I would encourage anyone who wants to start a YouTube channel to watch Roberto Blake's video. It's called Make 100 Crappy Videos. And I don't want this to be like a reaction live to that video, but it's going to sound like it anyway. But more or less, he basically pitched a philosophy. It's like, just go out and make 100 videos. Don't worry about editing. Don't worry about color grading. Don't worry about graphics. Make 100 videos. He said, no one's really going to notice your channel anyway until you get 100 videos. Now, he's got 500,000 followers. And he goes to VidCon. He hits all the conferences. He knows a lot of those people that are, actually paid certified YouTube coaches that I think other people go off and hire them to like help them with their channel, like when they're serious. But but anyway, it kind of really stuck with me because what I noticed from my earlier channels is I didn't work on like my branding enough, and you don't have to put a lot of work into branding when you're just starting. But it's like, you want like a basic intro or a basic outro, something that kind of like says it's you. So when people see that, they think of you. But you've got to upload content. People all the time, they hit me up. And I think a lot of it's because like, I know the guys in Smet Logic. I know like Desert Wolf Armory. Released a herping video with him recently from last year. And a lot of people, like, you can get me some subs. You can get me some subs. Well, yeah and no. I don't mind giving anyone a shout out if they're trying to make video. But nothing burns me up more than to shout someone out. And then 2-3 months later, I'm like, where did they go? Where are they? I basically, I don't want to say wasted time, but I spent time, cutting down some graphics of theirs or whatever, putting them into a shout out video and uploading it. And what I found is a lot of people start out right out of the gate and they make 20-25 videos and then they're never on YouTube again. And like, I've got to see that you're past that point before I'm going to seriously try to drag people to your channel. You have to at least be uploading content. And once again, when it's under 100 videos, I don't care what the content is. Now, I'm not saying I'm the be-all, end-all guide to listen to on YouTube advice, but I will say that a lot of other people in YouTube land with a lot more subs than I do, and people who do it full-time for a living have the same philosophy. They're like, make plant videos, make dog videos, make bird videos, make tree videos, make house videos. Just get 100 videos online. And, release them weekly or bi-weekly if at all possible. I think there's like some real method to that madness, because I think what YouTube does, and once again, like Ian, you let me know in the comments if you think I'm off. But what I've noticed is when you shoot, make, produce, and then upload like 30 to 50 videos, one of them will start gaining traction. Probably not always, but a lot of times one of them will gain traction. And then Roberto Blake, who someone I would listen to, went so far as to say 20% of your videos will drive 80% of your traffic. Not everyone is going to watch every video you make. You're going to have those videos that get 10,000 views, 100,000 views, a million views. You will, if you stick with it and you consistently produce content and work on bettering your content and getting good stuff on video, you're going to hit pay dirt sooner or later. But you have to stay consistent. You have to stay after it. You have to keep uploading. You can't take 6-7 months off from YouTube and come back and you're going to lose all the, I don't know exactly how it works. I bet you Ariel does, but we're not going to bother her. We're going to keep her on bot watch, unless she wants to pop into the comments. But like what I've noticed is when you upload a lot of videos, like in a month or 2 months to YouTube, and then you don't touch that channel for 2 months, 5 months, you lose a lot of the traction that you got from that first batch of videos. That's why I want to say he had this strategy where, if you're churning out videos and you're in the mood to work on videos, upload them and leave them unlisted, and then still space out the release dates. You don't want to upload 5 videos a week unless you can like do that consistently over time. You don't want to upload 4 videos a week and then burn out a month and a half down the road. Ian, that's a great point. And I watched that video again the other day. Exactly, Ariel. And what I'm saying is, for new YouTubers who want to get some kind of advice from me, I would say don't work too hard on your first few videos. I've got a drone channel. You know where it is, Ariel. And I've got 2 videos on that channel that I didn't think were really all that great. But one's like 500 views, the other's 300 views, and they're growing. That channel's less than 2 years old. Now, those aren't the best numbers. Believe me, those are not the best numbers. But like everything else I have on that channel has like between 20 and 80 views. And I could work on music selection, things like that. That's one of those channels that I'm like applying that upload 100 crappy videos. Exactly, and you lose traction when you take breaks. So make videos and then set them back and leave them unlisted, and so you can still be releasing videos and hitting the algorithm and bringing in viewership while you're on break. Because I mean, it doesn't take anything to unlist a video. And I get in these moods where like I go out and have like a killer weekend with someone like Jesse Whitlock. You find everything. You go herping with Jesse Whitlock, you're going to find everything. It's just, I mean, I think the guy should like rent out his services personally, because like he can put people on some lifers. And I've been herping in this state twice as long as he is. Hell, he's just good. But anyway, like sometimes I will sit down and like I'll have insomnia. I won't have anything to do around the house. Like I've done all the laundry. And so I'll sit there and, produce to 5 different videos in one night, or get them in the queue, get them all edited, get them ready for the final post. Okay, you don't want to release those all at once, even if you get them done all at once. You want to release one, release another 3-4 days and later, you know, and you try to stick to specific times, because that way, like, the people who follow you are more likely to get your notifications. And Ariel, you bring up a great point. If you can't get a video up, go live instead. That's why I've relied on shorts over here and the lives. My lives have been bringing in a lot more watch time than my regular videos. Now, I don't know why anyone would want to hear me talk versus like watch a rattlesnake for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, or a bull snake or a frog. I have no idea. But I think that the live function really kind of took off with the events of the last 2 years. Everybody's on Zoom, everybody's doing things virtually. And you know what I've thought about, Ariel and Ian, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this in the comments. Should have done this from StreamYard so I could have brought you guys on. But I kind of think with the reliance on, or with the lockdowns and everything, things getting shut down, people were forced to FaceTime. A lot of people, and I was one of these at first, even though I've had cameras on me before and like I've been like, you know, told say this at this time for other stuff, for, you know, like the Vice project that I was included in. You know, you get told, go to do this and, you know, do this and say this, and hold on, we've got this microphone on your left chest, it needs to be 2 inches higher, and it's a lot of crazy production stuff. But I'm not really the most comfortable person sticking my face in front of a camera. I want to show you, like, you know, a snake. I want to show you a frog. I want to show you an insect. I want to show you the habitat. Because that's what I want to see. Like, when no offense to Blue Bee, Smetlogic, Snakes on the Plains, those guys are amazing. But like, Rob, Smetlogic, I just watched your new video tonight. I loved seeing the Arizona mountain king snakes planted all over the rocks. It was hilarious. But I also loved seeing the coral snake and that blacktail rattlesnake. That made the entire video. I didn't know that you knew that one photographer lady. She has some great photographs. She's really amazing. Because I went to her Instagram after your video. And feel free to bookmark this moment in time and send it to her if you want, because, you know, it's just all good. We find out about each other this way. Yeah, you have to work out a regular upload time schedule, Ian. And what I found is if you hit your analytics button, you can start to see when your users are most likely to be online. That's valuable feedback, although it's not always, I don't want to say pertinent. It's not the formula some people think it is, in my opinion. My last edit ended up being an 18-hour marathon, 2 videos. You know, I've had videos like that, Ariel, and honestly, I lose patience in the editing process. I want to go out and shoot the video. I want to go out and take the photographs. I can sit here and make crude edits on my iMac in iMovie, the free version. I've been toying around getting to Sony or DaVinci Resolve, because it looks like you can do quite a bit more with that, and it's free. Sherry Lynn Madcat, how are you doing? I want to say you've got a wrench. If not, I'll hit you up with one. I'm good, Sherry. I'm just kicking some thoughts. But anyway, Roberto Blake, he's a guy who, I want to say he got his start on YouTube because he had a lot of Photoshop experience. So he got to making thumbnails for people. Um, hey JH, how are you doing tonight? And he's really, really good with Photoshop. And you can go look at his thumbnails, and you can kind of tell that he's been doing that a while. And we all know that, like, sometimes the thumbnail is a large part of a video success. Like, you get the right frame or you get the right picture, like, people are going to click on it. And you get a bunch of people clicking on it quickly, and then your numbers start growing and taking off, and somehow that puts it to the front of the line, and then you get recommended, and you get the recommendations, and you get the click-through rates and things like that. And there's people out there that can explain it a lot better than I can. So I'm not really going to try, but I like the idea of 100 crappy videos. Now, I do think you should tailor that to to a certain niche. Like, I wouldn't try to do like a nature and tech channel. I would do a nature channel or a tech channel, but I probably wouldn't mix both. Those two areas kind of seem to be a little too broad. So, like, like, I follow some storm chasers, and they can only do videos when it storms, but they're highly, highly popular, and a lot of people tune into them. They get behind a tornado in Oklahoma or Texas or Kansas, and they follow that thing for miles. And like, Pecos Hank is one of the guys that does videos, and he's one of the few that's been successful with kind of doing a little bit of both. And he doesn't really, I don't know what kind of gear he uses, but his videos don't look like he's got the state of the art camcorder and the state of the art this, the state of the art that. It's like he just uses a cell phone like a lot of other people. And but he gets some good stuff on video. He gets those amazing storms. He goes and gets snakes and turtles and things when they're on the moves, after a storm or before a storm. Those are good predecessors. Yes, JH, I'm well. Hope you're well too. you know, Ariel, probably about 2007, I took a class on HTML. We had to build a website, and I was at the local junior college here. And I used Photoshop extensively, and I had it for about a year. I had like this $25 student version, but I could do pretty much anything with it. To me, it's not worth the money. I mean, I hate subscriptions. I'm one of those people that I hate subscriptions. If GoPro keeps pushing their subscription, if I don't find a workaround, I'm going to get rid of my GoPro. Go to DJI Osmo Action or something for that type of camera, for that type of shot. But I just hate the whole, spend, like, for the Adobe Creator Suite, I think it's like $39.99 a month, and then you get like unlimited access to everything. Get GIMP, it's free. And you see, that's the other thing, Sherry, and that's a great point too, is there are other programs out there, depending on the kind of videos and photographs you make, and also depending on your learning curve. Photoshop is not easy to learn. I picked it up at a time when I was like very, very immersed in computer technology. Today I'm not. I mean, I probably would have done better to start a YouTube channel 15, 20 years ago than today. But things like GIMP, iMovie, DaVinci Resolve is the one that Pemberton Boys uses, and he does amazing things with it. I've also heard the learning curves on all of those are a lot easier than the Adobe functions. And so, once again, There's people who really, really enjoy the editing process. I am not one of them. A matter of fact, I almost despise the editing process. A lot of times people will be like, this video could have been a little better if you'd adjusted the white balance there. And I'm kind of sitting there thinking, yeah, I know. But I lost my patience and I went out and I filmed something else. And so once again, that kind of ties you back to you have to produce content. If you only edit and upload one video every 6 months, your channel's just going to lose traction, even if you've got good numbers. It's just my experience. All I can say is what I've seen, what I've experienced, and, right. But I would kind of focus on a niche. Like, I made another channel for, I made a drone channel. Then I made one for my dog, of all things. Hey, Survival. I've got your live from earlier on replay right now on another machine. That's kind of funny you popped in, Survival. It's the trivia one. So I'm getting you some watch time, even though I'm not paying attention. Yeah, Adobe is expensive. I mean, it's like, and I understand if you're a higher end creator, like $40 a month may not be a lot of money. But if you're not making money, you're fighting for monetization, and you're doing, just simpler videos and stuff. Like, yeah, DaVinci, the free version of DaVinci is, I mean, the Pemberton Boys guys do amazing things with it. But once again, it all gets back to if you're not producing something and uploading something, it's a moot point. I can at times be a perfectionist, but where that manifests itself for me is like in the field. Like, if I find a snake and I want to photograph it, like, I'm going to use this old cell phone as a light panel. Like, and I'm getting the shot from this angle. I put the light panel off to the side to give a different effect. Because you just get that straight on harsh light, everybody criticizes it, nobody likes it, and it can work. I mean, you can definitely use that footage. But I started using these portable light panels and like go over the snake. And you have to be careful, because when you're dealing with venomous, like I usually am, you want to watch what you're doing, and like not get things too close. But like the snake can be here, and you can like put the light off to the side or off to the top and hold it further out and get a softer light effect. You definitely can do some things, and light panels. Like I got an LED light panel over there from Best Buy for like $18, and I finally screwed around and broke it. I had faith in myself and I accomplished my mission. I didn't actually break it. It's just I knocked it off the ledge while it was charging. It fell and hit the ground. So now it's like when you press the on button, it might come on. It might take a second to come on. It might come on bright. You're supposed to be able to press it 3 times and get 3 levels of brightness. And I think what I'm going to do is, for a little bit more money, like around $59.99, I saw this like 2-panel set at Best Buy or Amazon or B&H Photo, one of them, where you have like 2 panels. They come with like mini tripods. Now you could also put them on a full-size tripod, but you can adjust the Kelvin light. You just turn it on and then you roll the dial up to where you want it. And something like that is like, oh, yes, that's exactly what I need for some of the stuff that I'm doing. And, you got to experiment with things. And you also got to realize that, people take amazing photographs with horrible equipment. People get amazing video with horrible equipment. It's not always spending your money and wrapping your money up in tech and editing gear, a lot of times it's just your creativity, your light, your flow, your ability to tell a story. Things like that can be every bit as important as your gear. I focus on taking as little gear as possible with me when I go out. Like I will take a GoPro. I will take. I get the idea that everybody got a kick out of my Rode mic, my Rode shotgun mic the other night. This is a beast of a microphone. Sometimes it picks up too much sound. But that's my professional camcorder, and that's the one that I'm probably going to stick with. I don't really see a lot of reason to upgrade until we get like 6K resolution built into things. And then I shoot a lot with my iPhone, which I'm on right now, because it can get stuck in a Diamondback's mouth and it'll survive. I've got a little lens cover that protects the lenses, and it's just easy. And then it's like you airdrop the footage. You don't even have to plug it in. So it kind of helps your workflow to do some things that are different, but also get creative and practice on things. Wakefield Wildlife had an incredible video on the exposure triangle. And even if photography is not your thing, I would probably say that video is worth watching, especially if you photograph reptiles and amphibians, because he's kind of tailored his light diffuser applications, flash diffuser applications, and camera settings to the kind of conditions that you normally find stuff in. And that video is worth a watch too. But remember, the whole theme of what we're talking about tonight is 100 crappy videos. So I think you should raise your streaming camera to at least head height. That's not a bad idea, Survival. And if it wouldn't draw in the distractive background behind me, it looks like a bomb went off back here. I know where you're coming from, Survival, but trust me, this is what I got for now. We moved into this house last year, and my office has become where everything gets shoved when people come over. And so like I would be just flat embarrassed to like show you guys the floor in here. Because there's just like boxes of my dad's stuff, boxes of my wife's stuff, boxes of stuff I've got to shred. I've got my shredder over there. Yeah, no, I'm tracking with you, and that's a good pro tip, Survival, and it definitely works out well on your channel. I've noticed. I see more of your lives than you think I do. Trust me. I've been, this last week has been a little crazy, and I just haven't been able to get as caught up as I'd like. I'll say that. So, but and kind of what I like about this angle is it kind of keeps me here, and the light kind of comes in. And when I've done, okay, like you remember the old Phoenix Social video? This is something probably me and Survival are going to be the only two that even know what we're talking about. I filmed all that stuff with like my computer webcam, and it was so grainy and crappy, but it had the head level right on. And like I saw where like if you'd added the right light and didn't have a distracting background, that would be like super cool. That would be a good thing. Hi, Fungus Queen, Exotic Pets. You snuck in. I am glad you were here. I've been enjoying your channel. I've been checking out some of your videos. But anyway, what made me think about all this was the other day, someone hit me up and said, "Man, dude, I need you to give me a shout out, man." And it's like I go to his I go to his channel, and the guy's producing one video a month, and yet he wants me to shout him out. And it's like, dude, you need to be doing like a weekly video for 6 months before you start asking people to shout you out. And don't get me wrong, it's not inappropriate to ask for a shout out. I don't feel it is at all. But it's also on the onus of the creator as to whether or not they want to give you one. Yes, Survival, I was thinking about that the other night after the Hood show. I'll say that. Because honestly, a lot of those videos that I uploaded to Phoenix represented this time in my life, and I wish I would have archived more of them. Sadly, I didn't. But I wish I could have got those videos back, or I wish I would have saved a copy of them. I struggle with having too much too much video and not enough storage space. I've got like these notebook external hard drives that are like 8 terabytes, and I get those things filled up quick. So, and being new to Apple data management, which is another thing, it was like a lot easier for me when I used Windows, the data management side. You know, it just functions differently. So you get a lot of things hung up. Or you don't really, you learn to watch some videos. I'll say that. If you go from like a Microsoft Windows environment to an all Apple environment, you learn to watch some videos on how to manage storage and where like your iPhone or your iMac is storing things that you can delete, that you don't need, that you don't know are there. Whereas like I'm so used to working on Windows computers for my jobs that, you know, I already knew all that stuff. I knew to go here. I knew to dump this. I knew to dump the recycle bin. I knew to go, you know, it's been a learning curve of its own. And that's me. I'm like, I want to be the guy in the field pointing the camera at the subject and shooting. I want to be the guy who's taking photographs. External hard drives are taking over my house. Right, Ian? And Ian, I want to say you're doing stuff in 4K now. Once you go from 1080 to 4K, that's a huge jump in storage space requirements. And even then, I can fill up a lot of a hard drive with just 1080 video. And sometimes I still shoot some stuff in 1080. Survival, I have been a fan of Apple for a while, and now I'm kind of getting where I'm like, this and that kind of bother me, and so who knows? I may go back to Microsoft at some point. What has been a good learning curve for me is to stick with technology from the same brands. I will contrast this for you. This was my first video camera. This was a Sony Bloggie. And it was like this little, you prop it up on a desk and you do your vlog. I used it to videotape stuff going on at the commercial rattlesnake harvest. So this was like $100 on eBay. They don't even make them anymore. This thing doesn't work. Kind of wish it did. It's a piece of nostalgia. You go to this, which is like a $500-600 camcorder. And not talking about the price to brag about it at all. But a lot of the functions of this really kind of feed off the functions of that Sony Bloggie. A lot of the menus are structured the same. So one thing I've learned from photographers I know, like people like Ori Martin, the Texas snake hunter, is like he's like got everything Nikon. Well, he's a big photography guy as well as a video guy. So everybody knows you can chase the technology of the changing camera bodies, and that gets amazingly expensive, or you can invest in glass and upgrade your lens collection. And I don't think either one of those is necessarily a failing strategy, but a lot of times you want different prime lenses for different shots. But he's like, man, I did so much Nikon, and then I bought a piece here, and then I bought a piece there, that now, to do anything outside of Nikon, it would be a whole new learning curve. It would be this, it would be that. And, and so that's why I've stuck with Sony gear. I've stuck with Sony mirrorless cameras. I've stuck with Sony Handycams. I use my iPhone for some things, and I use a GoPro for some things, and I use my DJI drones for some things. DJI is another thing that I've just worked with so long that's like I would really hate to go to another brand and learn a new culture. Yeah, 4K adds to the file size. Ariel, you got that right. And I shoot a lot of stuff in 4K 60 frames a second. Now, my live's obviously not. But because what I found is you can always slow it down, cut it down to like 30 or 24 frames a second if you want to. And sometimes I shoot 4K 30 frames a second, but sometimes it's like the 60 frames a second just gets that crispness that it's kind of hard to duplicate. Um, well, Ian, I tell you, I used to work on both. When I was working about 2 years ago, before I went into semi-retirement, we had we had we had Microsoft computers, and that's what they bought us all. And we had to do everything in Word and Excel, and so like I'm really good with those applications. I'm really good with taking care of a Windows computer. But when I kind of got to the point to where I'm not really working on projects, not writing papers, not going to school, not making spreadsheets, the 4K video editing capabilities of the Apple was what got me there. I do have an Asus laptop somewhere around here, and it's a gaming laptop. It's a Windows environment, but it has like I want to say the processor is a 8 speed. I want to say it's an i8, and like i5 is what's in most computers. I may be saying that wrong. Someone out there will know what I mean. But it's like the 8 was what I was told you needed for 4K video, because I got back into video editing right when 4K was like the brand new kid on the block. And, and so they said get a gaming laptop, solid state drive, and I want to say the CPU was speed 8. They said a lot of them are built with 5s or 6s. Some are built with 3s, U1 and 8, to handle the workload of the video. So anyway, that's what I started on. If you see one of my old videos with the little brown box down in the corner bouncing around that says please subscribe, that was on my old Asus laptop, which I really need to get that out and refurbish it. But anyway, yeah, just hanging out tonight. I'm with you, Ian. I'm a big fan of Sony. I think what it was like I said, I learned Sony in their Sony environment, and Sony gets quality stuff. Their video cameras and their DSLR and mirrorless cameras are, to me, the they're the best for me. I'll say that. I know people who swear by like the Nikon D3200, and for a DSLR, and them knowing how to utilize the Nikon environment, that's 90% of it right there. Because when you can go into the menu and you know how to adjust everything on there, you can, affect, this, you can pull up that, you can audit the white balance as you're going along, you can adjust the kelvins. That makes a difference in how good your video turns out when you're shooting things like plants, or when you're shooting things like animals on the move. You've got to know how to do that stuff and change that stuff up quick. Some of that stuff, they say you can edit it in the studio. I don't see how without it being a lot of hours right here in front of a computer. And this is the last place I want to be. I want to be out in nature. You've got a good point, survival. I honestly like the Mac. What I found is like you can get like Microsoft programs like Excel and Word for Mac, and if you can do that, it has its advantages. To me, I've messed around with Androids, and they did seem more complicated, but then again, I've been using an iPhone all my life, and now I'm looking at potentially giving my iPhone that I'm using now to my wife and upgrading to like a Samsung Galaxy, because even though that would be a new learning curve, I'm hearing that the video that they're getting is like, even though we don't have the technology on things like YouTube to render in 8K, it can shoot in that high of a definition. So I'm thinking about the future. I think 4K is going to be a good standard for another 2 to 3 years. But I'm noticing like the 6K TVs are coming out, the 8K TVs are coming out. And once again, not that I have to go there, but at the same time, when you're trying to broker commercial video, when that's your end goal, when that's what you would really prefer to do the rest of your life instead of going back to work at some point, you need the best, crispest, freshest, stuff available. And one thing, I've been looking at Black Box because a lot of my strength is not in telling a story, producing a YouTube video. It's getting that 30-second it's getting that 30 to 45-second shot where the animal is in perfect light, you're at the perfect angle, and everything comes together. And what they're like wanting on Black Box and Shutterstock, if you go there, now once again, a lot of hobbyists are never going to go there. And until recently, I didn't think I would go there either. But people are prodding me to do this, but they want like 15-second clips in 4K or higher. They don't even want you to upload anything that's 1080. It's like, if it's 1080 and it's available and it's something we want, we'll contact you. That's the feeling I got. And once again, I'm not saying video brokerage services are bad things. If you sell more video that way and you have to pay some to a middleman, it might just be the cost of doing business. Yeah, I would like to see a Galaxy. I've been watching YouTube videos on it. I was watching YouTube videos on the Galaxy, the one that's just coming out, the one with the 8K video capability. Andrew from DEA Exotics, I think, brought it up to me. And I don't know exactly how that would go into my workflow. I mean, I'm sure I could figure out the video and photo functions of it pretty quick. But then, can I airdrop it? May not be able to, because it's not an Apple to Apple product. AirDrop saves me a ton of time when I'm like get in from a trip or a long weekend and I've been out filming all weekend, and I sit there and just plug away and just I select 50, 60 video clips, hit send, and then I don't even have to plug anything in. It really is helpful to the workflow. But if the Galaxy, if Samsung is going to push out some better technology, I'm going to have to look at that. And once again, do I like spending money? No, I don't. I tell you recently, and that's the other part of what I was thinking. Survival is will Apple come out with an equivalent or something comparable to the Galaxy? I can't see them being behind forever, but I'll tell you, this is my philosophy on technology. Like, I used to, before I got the Sony AX53, I had the Sony CRX240. I do have one around. You guys saw too much of my face right there. This is like a mid-range. This is like a consumer camcorder, and probably nothing on it. But it was like it was like the next step between this and this. And I used these guys for years. As a matter of fact, I bought 2 or 3 of them because these were like $500 when they first came out. The last one I bought was like 200, and that's because my other one wasn't working right. Me and my wife were on our honeymoon over in Arkansas, and I wanted a video camera to get what was going on, and so we stopped in at Walmart and I bought one and charged the batteries. Yeah, Samsung does work on the Microsoft Cloud. That would be another advantage. I've messed around with my friend's Android a little because I've shown him how to do stuff on YouTube, and I don't know that it would be that hard as far as the photo video stuff. What I would be worried about is like everything else. And if everything else works like Microsoft, Windows, then I've got that experience. I mean, I literally used Microsoft for so long that I feel it would be almost like riding a bike. Like I could go back to it and it wouldn't be that big of a jump. But at the same time, how I got into Apple was, well, one, I already had an iPhone, but I never had an iMac. And it's just like everybody was like, man, get a gaming laptop or an iMac. And I wanted a desktop. I did not want a laptop. I do not like laptops. I drop things, I bang things, I throw things off walls. I'm clumsy. I'm an accident waiting to happen. So I didn't want like a laptop with a solid state drive where you can really like one bump and that thing is gone to the shop. So that was a consideration. But thank God for things like YouTube where we can go out and we can look at product reviews and we can see all this different stuff, and help make an educated decision. But I think I'm going to end pretty quick because the whole gist of doing this live tonight was one, I was bored. Two, it was just to get that message out about the 100 crappy videos. And once again, you got to upload and you gotta put things out there for people to support your channel. It's kind of like sometimes I think some people, they want to get the cart in front of the horse, and it's like, I would ask other people about it, like, hey, like, you do shout outs from time to time. And they're like, yeah, if someone's producing video, their channel's growing, and they're putting in the effort, shout them out. A lot of people just find someone with, 1 million subs, buddy up to them, and then expect them to shout out their crappy channel. And nothing to, I'm not saying it's totally, I won't say it's unethical, but it's not the kind of thing I would do. I'd kind of like work on sharing the channels of people that were high in number that I liked, and commenting on their videos, and and stuff like that. And then sooner or later, one of them will find you and say, hey man, you're always on my channel, let me shout you out. That's what happened with Desert Wolf and me, and I probably got 600-700 subs from that guy, pushed this channel over the 1,000. I was on Ball Python Love's channel when that happened. And Survival, glad you're man enough to do live streams. I'm not shying away from nobody. I'm not exactly sure where you're going there, man, but yeah, no, believe me, I'm generally not too worried about the opinions of others. Now, granted, what I do over here is nature related. I keep it that way. I stay away from controversial topics, although I have thought about like going rogue on like Rumble and putting out like my own live stream over there that's kind of more political, current issue type stuff. Exactly, Ariel. That's where I was going with that. Like Desert Wolf, guy's a great guy. He really wants to help anybody and everybody, but he gets so many requests from like people with 200 subs. He's like, man, I can't, I got to look at someone's channel. They have to be producing content. The content has to be something I'd watch. You don't want to tell people buy Lay's potato chips if you wouldn't eat Lay's potato chips. And he just has that integrity about him. A lot of people think he's just off the wall and doesn't have the integrity. Believe me, Desert Wolf has a lot of integrity. And yeah, and once again, Survival Man, fill me in sometime if you get a second, if you're on Discord or something. But yeah, and I think the lockdowns and everything have helped us all become more comfortable with that survival. Just because, like, I know a nurse that's working in St. Louis, and her husband is here in Oklahoma, and they're going to marriage counseling virtually. They both like dial into a Zoom meeting, and then they talk to the therapist. It's just that kind of world these days, and nothing wrong with it. Um, but anyway, guys, I'm going to kill this here pretty quick. I've went 70 minutes, and I appreciate anyone who's stuck in even for just 5 or 10 minutes. I appreciate you. Survival, I'm glad you popped up, man. You said something and it triggered the thought of Phoenix Social video. I just wish I would have archived more of those, literally. Because I had some pretty entertaining ones on there. At least I found them entertaining. The story about going to Easy Mart at 4 in the morning, and the weird guy that I encountered there. I'll tell you about that sometime when we're talking somewhere. Yeah, that was just one of those videos. I wish to God I had that back, but you don't always. You win some, you lose some. I'll say that. Guys, thank you for watching. Mm, I know I go on at odd hours, and so when you make my lives, it makes it all that more important to me. And I really appreciate what you do. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in, working the hammers, keeping an eye out for bots. Ariel, get back to your video because I'm going to be looking forward to seeing the finished product. Ian, thank you. Thank you for what you do for wildlife, Ian. You're amazing, Ian. I meant what I said the other day. I really do hope our paths cross. Warrior Z Martinez, long time no see outside of other social media. Good to see you. I've kind of been all over the place. Ian, take care of them foxes, man. They need you. The world needs people like you. I'll say that. And anyone else that was here, Fungus Queen, thank you. I'm gonna scroll through real quick. And everybody who offered words of advice, thank you for that, because I haven't picked up an Android in a while. I'll tell you that much. Sherry Lynn, thank you for hanging out. JH556, thank you for stopping by. Jesse Whitlock, I know you're drunk and hopefully in bed. And you've been running in the bars all night. Man, have fun at OHS tomorrow. You're going to love De Lagon. Guy's brilliant when it comes to alligator snapping turtles. Definitely a good guy. Have fun and tell everyone I said hi, Jesse. Nah, Sherry, I'm going to probably try and get out of here and try to wind down, get away from everything electronic. I do appreciate that, but I think I'm just kind of like try. I should already be in bed. I'll say that. The kind of day I've had, I should already be in bed, but I'm not. But Sherry, I appreciate you. We need to do another live together sometime soon, because Sherry, I've always had fun on your lives, because your lives just get fun. And that's another thing about YouTube is, man, take your eyes off the money, take your eyes off everything, and think, if you're not having fun, it's not worth it. Because literally, this can become a job really, really quick, and it is like a job. Once you get into getting 5, 6, 700 subscribers, it becomes like a job. Ian, if I am ever in London, believe me, you'll be the first to get the call. Believe me, I meant what I said. I would really like to. I'd like to make it over there and collab with you someday. I think that'd be pretty awesome. But Sherry, if you're bored, message me on Instagram. Um, if you're bored, if you're going to go live, let me know because I'll probably watch it from the other room. I may come back in here and jump on, but don't set up just for me. Please do not set up just for me. Gang, thank you all for hanging. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, and thank you for giving me some watch time. I appreciate everybody who stops by. I mean, you know, it is what it is, and thank you for listening to my message tonight.